I'm on this equal rights
You have
thing.
to remember, you
if
know.
I'm Ronaldo, I say Ronaldo's the best player in the world. Ronaldo is the GOAT. The minute Ronaldo started disrespecting the manager and disrespecting the club, my boy, it's time for you to leave.
Yeah, but you have to see
Sancho,
you
see
see
you
with
later.
Sancho,
Like,
you have to remember as well.
You can't do that, bro. It's only gonna end one way.
Check the scores before you come with your reckless talk.
Go check that.
Sending call and banter my team, I will banter yours. For the win, taking no L's, we don't do draws. Don't press pause, keep your ears peeled when TezTalks.
Right. We've done it a bit differently this week because we had to talk about Arsenal again. Cause your boy was fuming. And obviously it's international break, but we don't do this show and not do tweet of the week. And we're going to a place where I do not want to take it because it happens all the time. I mentioned it at the start of the show. Manchester United just can't lose and get their heads down and fast forward. If it's not Sancho chatting off his beak, Anthony's just in the press for just bare different things. Y'all I got man talking about Amrabat's injured. We're buying injured players. Like, just leave us alone, man. Let us grieve. But with that being said, tweet of the week. Here it is, people. And it comes from the man himself, Jadon Sancho. And he says, please don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people to say things that is completely untrue. I have conducted myself well in training, very well this week. I believe there are other reasons for this matter that I won't be going into. I've been scapegoated for a long time, which isn't fair. All I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to my team. I respect all the decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I play with fantastic players and I'm grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what. Heads, talk to me, man. What we saying? And if you don't know, which everybody should know, this is a response to the journalist asking Ten Hag after the game, where was Scott McTominay and where was Jadon Sancho? Ten Hag's reply was, Scott McTominay's ill, he couldn't be selected, and I felt with Jadon Sancho, we looked at him in training, his training performances wasn't good, so we decided to leave him out the squad. Hits, talk to me, man.
I don't know, man. It's a strange one still. I don't know. It looks like Ten Hag's got a bit of an issue with controlling his players, to be honest.
In the sense of, you think after. So my question is,
like, this isn't the first time it's happened since he's been there. He done the same thing with Ronaldo. Said he didn't really want to train, and then Ronaldo come out and said, "Look, man, want to train." Like, so I don't know. It's like he tries to belittle the players, but then it backfires on him. Because I've been looking on some X stuff, and he got into a lot of arguments with Ajax players as well, the same kind of things.
I know there's definitely a couple of Ajax players he got into arguments with. But you know what the difference? You know what the big one of the biggest difference is?
They was performing,
and it's not even that. You know,
I think if Sancho's performing, he can have the right to say that. I think because he's not performing, it looks a bit mad still.
Facts. I think in regards to Ten Hag and the Ajax players that he used to fall out with, the big difference is Ajax. Yeah, if Ten Hag said it, yo, me and this player, it can't run, Ajax had them gone. Ten Hag, I seen a clip. Yeah, this was even before he was the Man United manager. There was a clip of Ten Hag telling a player, yo, if you don't buy into what I'm trying to do, you're not going to be here. My man was sold in the next window.
But this is the thing.
Next window gone.
I don't think that this is. Don't think that's the way of dealing with these new players though. These new players, like, you have to deal with them a bit better, man. Like, because they're gone. Like, there's social medias now. Back in the day when you could do all that, there's no social media for someone to reply and give them their response of what happened. There's just too much access now for these footballers. So
Do you think that Ten Hag? Do you think what Ten Hag said when he said, "Joe, Sancho weren't doing well in training, so I didn't pick him for the squad"? Do you think he was wrong for saying that?
I think so.
You think? Because he's
Yeah.
not really slated him.
But you have to look at it, yeah. If that's his opinion, that should be just between you and the player. He shouldn't have to go on TV and say and put it out there like, "Oh, I don't think he was training well."
So what do you
It
think?
looks a bit bait.
What do you think he should have said when the journalists have asked him, like, "Yo, where's Sancho?" You think he should have lied?
Said he's not ready. I don't think he's ready to play in the starting 11 yet.
But remember, he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, I know, but I would have just said he's not ready. I don't think he's match fit yet. You're better off saying I don't think he's match fit.
But then the journalist probably would have said, "You
You're
don't
better
think
off saying
he's match fit? He would have been. He was in the squad last week, wasn't he?"
Yeah, but you're better off saying he wasn't match fit than saying that he wasn't training well.
So you don't
'Cause
think?
if you think that he was training well,
Mm,
and the manager never said nothing to you in training, but now he wants to say it now on TV, it looks like you're just trying to make me look like an idiot now.
But you don't
never said
think?
nothing in training.
This is just me playing devil's advocate here, cause I have my opinion. I'm gonna share it in a minute. But you don't think that if he said, "Okay, well, he's not match fit," you don't think he would have come out and said, "Well, what you know about? I'm not match fit, bro. You know about, bro? I was on the bench last week. I'm
Better
fit."
off if that's the. It should have just never said nothing. I don't know. It's a mad one. Still, it's a tough one.
But if
Because
you look at,
a player of Sancho's level should not. For him to not be on the bench is liberties. This was one of the best wingers in Europe before he come to United. So it looks like it's a personal vendetta. Because you can't tell me that Sancho's not good enough to put on the bench and come on for the last 15 minutes or something, regardless of how he trained.
yeah. I agree with that. I ain't gonna lie. I do agree with that. But do you think then, because there's a lot of people are saying like, well, would he have made a difference if he had come off the bench? You think Sancho would have made a difference in the Arsenal game? Because I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I really
I've not
don't.
seen him play like pre-season. It looked like he's coming back to his best.
He looked like that last season as well.
But then, this is the thing with your manager. He gets a run of games where he looks like he's getting good, and then he's benched again. You can't be doing this to Sancho, you know, bro. Like, this is a guy that every team in Europe wanted. United were just the lucky ones to get him.
He was the only ones that could afford him, and asked
So
him
to
for.
see how that's just gone like this, like, yeah, it's only the club. It can only be the team. He's not happy. And I was telling to my friend the other day, I said, "Nah, he's not happy." I said, "No, bro, he's just got family issues." I said, "Blood, stop the family issues. He's not happy at Man United.
Nah, he's not. He's definitely
If he
not.
wouldn't be coming out and doing that."
Yeah, nah, it's not. It's not. But in Ten Hag's defense, this little public statement that he's done, it's not new. He did it when he was at Dortmund and he never got picked. And when he got benched for a piece, and it weren't Tuchel that was the manager. It was the one before. It was the one after Tuchel
The
left.
thing is,
My man said, "Yo, I didn't pick him, and I'm not picking him because he's not performing in training." My man did exactly the same thing, and also was talking about, "Yo, I'm being scapegoated." Remember, he also got taken out the team because he was being linked to United and he was playing shit. Like, this isn't the first time he's come out with an outburst. First time at United. First time at United, but not the first time. Like, yo, you have to look at it like this.
He can warrant it at Dortmund.
Yeah,
He was
facts.
doing the madness at Dortmund.
Facts, he can warrant it there.
He was doing
100%.
the madness
100%.
at United because he's not really performed yet. This is why it don't look so good, because he's not lived up to his potential yet at United. So people are looking at, how can you even say that?
Yeah, that's my
At the
opinion.
same time, if a man's lying on my name, I'm gonna stand up for myself.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say I wasn't performing in training when I know I was performing well.
But
Because if I was performing shit in training, like I said, you would have told me in training.
But who's to say? Who's to see? You see what my thing is? We will never know. We don't know. It's Ten Hag coming out and saying one thing. It's Sancho coming out and defending his name and saying the other thing. All these Gary Linekers, and I see all these dickhead pundits talking about, so what, a player's not allowed to come out and defend himself. When fucking Pogba was doing it against Mourinho, man, we're calling Pogba out of order. So why? Because Sancho's doing it, oh, you're not allowed to come out and defend yourself. What? Because Sancho's English. Nah, fuck that, bruv. No player should be coming out at any point speaking out against what the manager's saying. The manager didn't pick you for a reason. Me personally, I don't think what Ten Hag said was wrong. I don't think he was scapegoating Sancho at all. Where you've got man like Mourinho that used to come out and say, yo, Shaw's got a good body, but his brain's not all there. He has to use my brain.
Yeah, but you have to look at in this era we're in today. Everything's social media and viral moments. Ten Hag saying that goes viral about Sancho, you know.
But you have to understand, he's not the... Sancho's making it out like he's the only one.
Yeah,
Rashford got dropped.
You have to look at it, yeah. The situations he's going through at the minute as well. He's losing... His family member was sick or something like that recently.
And your man backed him, bro. So he took him out the limelight.
His head ain't all there at the minute.
I hear that, so... But at the same time,
it looks like he's going. It looks like the manager's due. I would look at it as like, yeah, the manager's moving snaky.
Nah, if everything that happened before didn't happen, I would agree with you now, and I'll be like, you know what, Ten Hag, what you doing? But the man took you out the firing line because the fans was last season. The fans was on your back. You had your little period when you scored against Liverpool. You had your little period where you was all right. You didn't get picked for England. Everyone's like, yo, why Sancho not got picked? Why not Sancho got picked? You never got picked. After international break, you were shit. You were shit for so long. You had man talking about Sancho out, Sancho this, Sancho that. My man, the manager that you're arguing against right now, said no, put his arm around you and said, listen, I don't know what, like, we need to take you out the firing line. Go in the mountains, and everyone was taking a piss out of the situation. Go in your mountains, get your head right. When you come back, I've got you. He come back at the end of last season, and he was getting a run of games. He had his form, and he was still shit. He come back for like 3 games, and I was like, okay, he's back from the mountains now. He looks on it. After the 3 games, your man was shit. In the final, weren't doing fuck all. Against Barca, weren't doing fuck all.
Like I just think he's a man. He's a player.
He's a confidence player.
Some players need a manager that puts their arm around him.
He did though.
Yeah, but Ten Hag, you can't put your arm around him and then come out in public and do that.
Because
it looks like it does.
He does that with everyone though.
You see with these,
I hear what you're saying.
These young new gen players.
I hear what you're saying. Let me land.
On social medias and all these things, they don't like.
I hear what you're saying, but look, alright then, Save. He's not the only young player it happened to. It happened to Garnacho. Garnacho didn't say nothing. He didn't say a word. Wait, let me finish.
Foreign youths are different to English youths.
Let me finish because there's more. Garnacho, he didn't say a word. Put his head down, come back. Garnacho, Starboy, whatever people want to call him. Wan-Bissaka last season, cuz Wan-Bissaka was frozen out. Remember, the manager didn't want him at all. Yeah, my man was training on his own. The lot got injured, come back. They're asking him like, yo, why Wan-Bissaka getting a look in?
That's his style of management. No, like it doesn't work with everyone.
I hear that, but it doesn't work with everyone. But I like I like managers that are fair, and he's been fair, fam. If you're shit and you need discipline, he disciplines you. Rashford last season was banging off every week. Your man was late to training. Yo, why is Rashford on the bench? He was late to training. I told him, my thing, if you don't listen to my rules, you get disciplined. Yeah, Rashford come out himself and said, yo, I was 2 minutes late for training. The manager told me I'm not playing. I have to sit on the bench. What does Rashford do? All right, you're benching me. Fuck this, let me show you something. Comes off the bench, wins man the game, bags 2 goals.
Some players,
this is bullshit, bro. You are a bitch.
Everyone is different.
I hear that, but you have no... Jadon Sancho at Manchester United has 0 grounds to be coming out and writing paragraphs. Wan-Bissaka didn't do it when he got thrown to the rules. He got his head down and fought back for his place. Garnacho, little man, didn't do it. Got his head down, fought back for his place. Now he's starting ahead of this geezer that thinks he's this guy to be writing paragraphs. Rashford got dropped. Man are talking about, oh, Sancho's upset because Anthony gets picked over him. It's a favoritism thing. I've seen Martinez, one of Eric Ten Hag's favourite players, get dropped for Luke Shaw because he was shit. I've seen him get subbed at half time, so it's not a favouritism thing. As shit as Anthony has been in certain games, and he's just doing the man thing.
He's been awful. It does
but
look like.
At the same time, at least he's doing the basics.
Yeah,
Sancho will be shit in a game. Sancho will be shit in a game, and not do the basics.
You can't spend how much money on Sancho and not really have him on the bench.
Spend it.
What does it matter?
It does matter.
How I look at it is,
It does matter.
you spent that much money on Anthony. Anthony never gets dropped even when he's shit.
He does.
Nah, because I don't see Anthony get dropped
He
anywhere.
does. He hasn't. He hasn't got dropped this.
Around.
He hasn't got dropped this season. But my man's about to get suspended.
How I look at it,
but he has been dropped last
you have
season.
to look at it this way. As a player, and you're both training, we don't know what happens in training.
We don't.
Yeah,
we don't.
Sancho
Facts.
could be on a madness in training. He could be on a madness, all we know. And Anthony's shit, and he's starting every game. Anthony's playing, even though he's shit in training.
That's his signing, and he gives him something.
There you go.
Sancho's not his signing.
So there you go. You've just said it.
Yeah,
so
but there's
already, because he's not his signing, he's not giving him really a chance because he's not.
But
his,
Wan-Bissaka weren't his
it doesn't
signing.
matter, but he's seen something in Wan-Bissaka that he can listen to me. I can train,
and that's how it's supposed to be, though.
Certain players, cause you have to train them differently when they've got technical abilities.
Nah, man.
That's how I look at it.
They're saying, I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree.
You have to remember the two people he's clashed with are two people that have great technical abilities: Ronaldo and Sancho. So that shows you he ain't arguing with anybody else, you know. The ones with technical abilities who can play at a certain level and don't like to listen to what my man's saying or be bullied into it like it. Cause it comes across like my man's bullying.
Nah, you can't say that when he's taking him. You're forgetting how he treated him last season.
Doesn't matter how he's treating them. He's just dashed two legends out the place with even getting a good boy.
That's ruthless. I respect it.
No.
Ronaldo didn't deserve a goodbye. Yeah, he did.
So that shows you that he don't really respect them. These men have been at United longer than him.
Yeah, they have.
You've just dashed me out like a piece of shit.
Bro.
Then to make it look worse,
I think there's more politics to the
There you go. There's more politics.
To the De Gea thing, there's more politics.
This manager
Ronaldo,
stop.
Nah, I disagree.
How he comes across, trust me, it comes across very, what's the word? Headstrong.
But that's what you need.
Yeah.
My way or the highway.
Yes.
I fuck with that.
Sometimes you have to mix it up. Because
I think he's done that.
Arteta and Klopp, they're very headstrong, but they don't come out and ever do any of that kind of stuff what Ten Hag says with these, he's not training well, and that's still putting you down as a player. It's still putting you down, even though you claim that you might have not trained well. As a player, you don't want to hear that from your manager. You rather don't. You've got to. Yeah, man. He's. You know what he should be better off? He said. He's not far from match sharpness or something like that.
It could have said me personally.
He could have said that.
Me personally, I think he could have said anything.
He's not training well. He's not training well in training.
I feel like he could have said anything, and Sancho would have still done the same thing.
If he says that, something different, because imagine how the other players must have been thinking like, right, he said that about it. Like, why is he saying that? Like, he's not training well. He's not training well. You could have said anything else, blood. As a player, you don't want to hear a man saying, well, I'm not training well. Well, I know in my heart, I'm putting in everything in training. So
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I disagree. I disagree. Even if it's true, modern era, whatever, even if it's true, and he has disrespected you, you don't put out public statements, man. Because the minute you put out public statements, that means you think you're bigger than the club and you're bigger than the manager. And you, Jadon Sancho,
this is where,
as much as I've backed you for a long period of time,
he's got shit PRs because his PR shouldn't have made him post that.
Facts. And this is black. Man was talking about, is this worse than what Xhaka did when he's putting up the middle finger and saying fuck the fans?
It's not worse. It's nothing nowhere near. It's not even close. It's not even close.
It can be argued. I don't really care, to be fair.
Sticking your finger up at the fans and then the same fans loved you and then a vex at your left that shows you in it. Like,
yeah, like I don't.
That's really, a minor, but the only thing with this,
you don't do it,
you're gonna get sold.
Yeah. You're gonna get sold, and you know what's crazy?
You will get sold.
You know if he just shut his mouth, yeah. If he shut his mouth and he didn't put this statement out, it would have been in the team in 2 weeks.
You know,
he would have been in the team in 2 weeks. Shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why he would have been in the team in 2 weeks?
No, I tell you what.
Wait. Hear me out. Take away this statement and he never said anything. In 2 weeks' time, he would have been in the team. You know why? Because Anthony's about to get suspended.
Yeah, only now it's coming out. But why I say as well, why it wouldn't have? Chelsea tried to sign him just before the window closed.
Yeah, I know. Ten
That
Hag don't
show-
want him. He don't rate
There
him.
you go. And
But-
he's your best winger you've got.
But at the same time, Ten Hag didn't want Wan-Bissaka either. He wanted him gone. But the lot got injured. He comes into the team. You know
Like,
what? I fuck with you still.
it's raw.
He could have had the opportunity if he shut his mouth. I'm not gonna. You see me? I'm not on this. One rule for one, wrong rule for another. I'm on this equal rights.
You have to
thing.
remember, you
If
know.
Ronaldo, I say Ronaldo's the best player in the world. Ronaldo is the GOAT. The minute Ronaldo started disrespecting the manager and disrespecting the club, my boy, it's time for you to leave.
Yeah, but you have to see
Sancho,
you
see
see
you
with
later.
Sancho,
Like,
you have to remember as well.
You can't do that, bro. It's only gonna end one way.
These youths, I like that. That's the whole reason why he left City.
Yeah.
They've got that. They're from the hood, fam.
Mm.
So they're not gonna make a certain man still try and talk to you the same way, even though you're my manager. Like there's levels that you're gonna as respected me.
Facts.
You could have pulled me to a side and said what you said, then do it on TV.
But we don't know if he did or he didn't.
But he
For real,
didn't.
for
He
real.
clearly he done it on TV. That's why he's upset.
No, but he probably just didn't want it out there.
He could have pulled him to the side and said he
No.
could have kept it personal, or when they asked him a question about Sancho, just moved on.
But let's just say that
He didn't have to- he didn't have to answer.
let's just say that ask Ten Hag again. Like, yo, did you speak to Sancho about it before? And he says yes. Where do we go from there?
He said, "You see, all right then. I'll tell you what would have happened. You see, if they would have asked Klopp or Pep that question, they would have said, oh, can we talk about the result today, the good result? They would have deflected it.
Yeah.
This is where your manager's fallen into the rook. My whole point where he likes confrontation too much. He always wants to be in some kind of argument with something about something. Most top managers would have deflected that. Why are you asking me about that? You just sit down with players that play today. Ask me about those. Ask me about those players, not players that you don't see here.
Yeah, you're right. But you also have to remember. Pep weren't like that at the start.
Yeah,
in
but
the
this
league.
is where you have to.
They've learned it over time.
He's put that argument on. He's caused that
Yeah,
because he didn't have to do it.
He didn't
So
have
as
to
a
do
player,
it.
when you're like I said, it's not like he was on the bench, cause. So that means you're at home. So imagine how that looks like. Raw, man bought me for 100 mil. I'm not even on the bench. I'm
But
training hard.
he didn't buy
Yeah,
him.
but he's not even looking at it like that. He's looking at it. The club bought me for £100 million. As soon as this manager's coming now, I don't really get a look in like that. Yeah. Even when players are not performing
My
well.
man never got a look in
I
from the
don't
manager
get a
that
look
bought
in.
him. This is the thing, like.
So it's a mad one still.
Like this is another thing. Like I back Sancho, but you also got to look at it like this. The man that did buy him didn't
Who bought
even
him?
only bought him, and it didn't even give him a look in. How long before man was saying why is Sancho not playing? Sancho weren't playing for
I just
time.
don't think he wasn't made for United.
Nah, he was.
He's not made for United.
He weren't made for Oli, innit?
How they play, how Sancho plays, he was made to play for City or Liverpool.
Pep Guardiola didn't want him.
United don't really have wingers like that. Well, only Sancho.
You have to ask why Pep actually didn't want him, and a lot of people.
Pep wanted to keep him, but he didn't want to stay because he didn't want to get first team football. So that was the whole choice. He went Dortmund to get first team football where he become a star.
I hear over rumors, but it's neither here or there. I don't care. My thing is, yo, Sancho, whether you think you're that guy in your head, cool, whatever. We know you've got the talent. We know you got that. You might even think you've got a big ego, but listen, I'm telling you something. You're at Manchester United. When the manager talks, you don't open your mouth and go up against the manager. Ronaldo got kicked out of the club for that, or he left, or whatever people want to call it. And Ronaldo, we don't need to talk about Ronaldo. You are nowhere near that level. Right now, you're not even on Golden Boy Rashford's level. So if Rashford can get disciplined, then the manager come out and said he was late for training. And I told him not to be late to the meeting. He was late. He got dropped. If a man can do that to Rashford and Rashford just gets his head down, you are in no position to be talking about the manager's lying on my name or whatever. And I'm not. This doesn't actually say that you're talking to the manager. You just have to read between the lines or whatever. I don't really care. But you're in no position to do that. You can't do that. And then you got friggin' you people around you talking about sources close to Sancho say he's upset because Anthony's not playing. Anthony tracks back, bro. You don't even track back. You let players run past you and score goals. Like, I'm not saying Anthony has been good or has been great this season, but you know what? You see where he has been shit. He makes up for in other areas. Anthony has done more for Manchester United than you have Sancho, and you've been here for 3 seasons. You got your man scoring in cup finals to get us over the line to win the trophy. You got your man scoring winning goals against Barcelona. I'll be honest, you've been here for 3 seasons, and your best, your highlight for me is the goal when you put Van Dijk on his arse.